A man beaten down at every turn. That's a story anybody can relate to. While trying to fill the world with a little laughter, Arthur Fleck feels all alone, and under attack by a society seemingly gone mad. It's the perfect setup for a rise to glory. Take everything away from your protagonist, and see what they're made of. The Joker is, of course, about the man who went completely the other direction. He sees nothing but futility. He's the laughing embodiment of nihilism. He's a black hole, avenging himself upon the world. And for some people, myself even, that story is seductive, in spite of it being about a murderous psychopath. The Joker is fun, and he's truly free, at least in the warped way that a man with no moral or social obligations is free. I'm not alone. On YouTube, you can find comments like this, saying in 2019, it was society that created the Joker. And I see other comments in agreement, both eager to see the movie, while understanding that there's something bigger and even darker about its message. I think these commenters know that we're observing a larger phenomenon, because the premise of Joker closely mirrors a subset of highly disillusioned people whose numbers are steadily growing. These are people who don't fit in. They're a little weird. They're not part of a bigger tribe. Often they're on depression medication. Many are fatherless, and they spend much of their time alone. But Joker isn't about loners. Joker isn't even about incels. The backstory of the Joker is the backstory of nearly all mass shooters in modern history. James Holmes proved that the Joker's character resonates with broken and hurting people. You don't have to be a cunning and murderous genius to think you are. But how did Holmes and others like him transform from innocent children into monsters? And why are there more and more of them? I have a theory. Let me qualify it first. I'm the ultimate advocate of personal responsibility. Everybody chooses the path they go down, every day. But that said, we can still observe patterns. And there is a pattern in the prevailing assumptions of our age. First, America has a mental health problem. Not a crazy people everywhere problem. A problem of crazy ideas leading people down terrible paths. The problem centers around how we respond to suffering. It's hard to suffer, but it's especially hard to suffer when you don't have a belief system that explains what suffering is for. A rise in secular materialism has normalized the assumption that life is about being happy, about avoiding pain and maximizing pleasure. Social media aids the illusion that some people really are leading lives with no suffering. It also fosters narcissism. You can talk at thousands of people without listening for even 1 second. You can have artificial friendships while spending every free moment glued to Netflix. Third, our media constantly evangelizes the holiness of victimhood. It's a strategy for gaining power. Give people a grievance and promise to rectify it in exchange for allegiance, in exchange for sales, in exchange for votes. And as society splinters into victim groups, more people fall into the cracks. For outsiders who hold these assumptions collectively, life becomes a miniature hell. You have nobody to talk to, everybody else is happy, everybody else is to blame, and you have no way of understanding the point of what you're going through. In this situation, most people respond one of 3 ways: medicate themselves, end themselves, or avenge themselves in a final, violent show of power. Both suicide and mass killing are symptomatic of an extreme degree of narcissism. To happily send hot lead through scores of unarmed, screaming people is an act without a shred of empathy. It's the act of a psychopath. Some argue that psychopaths are born. I disagree, but what matters is the Joker trailer suggests that Arthur Fleck was a nice guy who became a psychotic murderer because society pushed him into it. He wasn't born that way. However, the story of Batman insists that Joker had a choice. Bruce Wayne lost his parents to a random act of violence. But instead of avenging himself against innocent people, he became someone who protects others from what he went through. Yet Joker is the truly modern hero story, like Breaking Bad, the anti-hero. The guy for whom complicated circumstances forced him to do horrible things. But is that ever true? I want to show you the most intelligent comment about the Joker trailer on YouTube. Kate Roy wrote, "I'd love it if at the end of this film Joker admits that he doesn't know if this origin story is true or not, like in The Laughing Joke. That means from then on we wouldn't be able to tell if we should sympathize with him or believe anything he says." She's on point, because the truth is, Joker is a psycho, and all psychos tell lies. Most of what a psychopath accomplishes is through manipulation, and the best way to manipulate is to get others to sympathize. In The Dark Knight, Joker literally can't stop doing this. Even when he's about to kill somebody, he crafts a lie. Like when he talks about his scars. The first time, the Joker tells some thugs how
my father was a drinker and a fiend.
Most gangsters either have terrible fathers or no fathers. Their surrogate fathers are the gang leaders, who are, by necessity, the most violent males. So these thugs can relate. Later, Joker tells a second version to Rachel Dawes. He says he cut himself to make his wife smile, as though the scars were really the well-intentioned but misguided love of a husband. He hopes that Rachel will relate, just before he kills her. In real life, psychopaths always prey on the feelings of others. From H.H. Holmes to Diane Downs to Ted Bundy, every one of them fabricates an explanation of their behavior that serves their own self-obsessed ends.
Do we have the water that's dying and the whales are being killed and the seals are
Here
dying?
we go again. Lay it off on somebody else. Let's
Well,
point to all the other injustices.
I'm in the world all by myself.
Why does that matter? Because the Joker's backstory is a lie. Anytime anybody says there was no other way, no other door into the light, they're lying. And to tell a story this elaborate could serve only one purpose: to manipulate. Joker is no hero, and Joker has no friends. If he were real, he could redeem himself. But he's not real. He's a fictional reminder of something important. There is a little bit of the Joker in all of us. It's good to recognize that because you can't fight an enemy you don't understand. All of us face the temptation to avenge our suffering on the world. So while this movie asks, if you were Arthur Fleck, wouldn't you respond the same way? Your answer must be no. But you can do more. If you know somebody who is alone, who is weird, whose meds make them a little shaky, whose parents have failed, who is picked on, who is without love, I challenge you to reach out to them, to say hello, to listen, to care, and to gently remind them that they have a choice. Take it from me. Sometimes all that stands between them and darkness is somebody else to love. Thanks for watching. What do you think? Am I just a ranting clown? Leave your thoughts in the comments, subscribe if you like this, and if you really dig it, please share it.